Okay. Stream's up. So you can quit complaining about it not being up.
Yeah, it's Rez, man. He wants stuff.
Okay, let me finish up my notes here.
All right. I know I crafted something and I wanted to. I think it was Steam Surger. I think that's what it was. Oh, dude. So I vanished some dude's full board of living mana and he conceded.
Oh, man.
He had a full hand, so none of them went back to his hand. It was awesome.
That is awesome.
Interesting. So what is this? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could invite someone.
To what?
So you can invite someone to spectate your match, and Rez invited me.
Oh.
Hey, so you can do that.
There's a lurker in our chat room.
Ah.
Some person we hung out with at BlizzCon. And it's not Rez.
It's Jeremy?
It's not Jeremy.
Well, there was a couple Jeremys. I'm talking about Jeremy from California.
No, the other Jeremy.
So it's neither Jeremy.
Correct.
Okay.
And she says it sounds gross.
Like my voice sounds gross?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
You're not the first one to say that. That one dude said
Hi,
that. Remember that? Oh, it's Ann. So, yeah, you were definitely not the first person to say that. That dude said that my voice sounded gross and I needed to stop podcasting. What was I? Nasally? Is that what he said?
Something like that.
Annoying. My voice was nasally and annoying or something. Rez said he's been having so much trouble with his taunt deck. But he's still playing it. You go, Rez. Man, I hate when Paladins play Stonehill Defender. Because they always get Tyrion. Always. 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 100% of the time. 100% of the time, they get it all the time. And Rez, I don't know if you can hear me, but Servant of Kalamos just got Alakir the Windlord, I guarantee. He just discovered Alakir the Windlord just to upset you. Because tonight is full of angst and hatred.
Boyd says your math checks out.
Okay. 100% of the time, all the time.
Exactly.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
What?
Rez is just getting tore up from the floor up.
You know, he may want to change to a different deck.
No, you can't do that, dude. You gotta stick with the tried and true. So Rez drew into Brawl. I don't even think it hit his hand before he threw it out there.
He's like, take that.
Nice.
I'm sorry,
nice.
I continued that tradition by hurting him earlier.
Were you playing Shaman?
No, I told you, but I'm going to save for the show and we'll bring it up then.
Yeah, because I was actually chatting with Rez when you were trying.
Yeah, you weren't listening.
No, definitely not listening.
Okay. Let me get the restream updated, and then I am good to go.
All right. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. You're going to have to stop watching Res.
Yeah.
Oops.
So, gotta quit the Hearthstone and quit the Blizzard app. And are we doing Zencaster tonight?
Yep. I'll send that to you in 1 second.
Okay.
See, I'm going to go ahead and title this Salt Flies.
Nope, definitely not. I'm totally in a good mood. Cheering. It's Teacher Appreciation Week, dude. How can I not be in a good mood?
And you feel so appreciated by the move.
I got my teacher mug right here.
Nice.
Right? Keeps my coffee nice and hot. I feel so appreciated. As a casual player who enjoys Hearthstone and tries to get more new players into the game, I really appreciate what Blizzard's doing this week for new and casual players. Okay, I'm gonna.
And now Boyd says Salt Fest, maybe, or Salt Fest 2017.
Oh, jeez, I need to keep this sarcasm to a minimum.
And just so you know, guys, he's not reading chat because it slows his machine down. So that's why I'm repeating what you're saying.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. I could bring it up on my phone because my phone's not on our network. It's so funny when I come home from school, my wife knows when I pull in the driveway because the internet comes to a dead stop because my phone is on the internet. Let's see. I'll bring up Twitch chat tonight just because I love you guys.
Did you want to see what everybody says about your saltiness?
No, definitely not.
Boyd says he wants to know how you really feel, so let it fly.
Oh, jeez. It might happen.
And I might incite it. Okay, in your chat.
Incite a riot on Zencaster. Here it is. Here's a link to a riot that we think you ought to participate in. Blizzard takes the most casual mode in Hearthstone and change it to the most competitive mode where new players get nothing, and if you want something out of it, you have to pay money. Wait, what?
Did you say that out loud?
I was reading Zencaster.
You ready for me to push the button?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you paying attention?
Well, I'm filling in the show notes real quick.
Okay.
And I just wanted to put this tweet on there so I wouldn't forget about it. What happened there? All right, there we go. Okay, we're good.
You're listening to Legend of the Innkeeper, the Hearthstone podcast for casual players.
Ah, you're new here. Pull up a chair by the hearth.
Welcome to Legend of the Innkeeper. I'm Fastidious.
I'm Espo.
Ooh. Wait, that kind of caught me off guard. Are you okay? Should I be concerned? Are you
You should.
yeah.
Are you a Blizzard employee?
No, I do not want to be a Blizzard employee, especially
Then
this week.
Then you should not be scared. You should
Okay,
not be scared. Are you afraid of monkeys
Speaking of monkeys,
or orangutans or gorillas?
we went to the zoo last week and saw spider monkeys and thought of you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'll take that as a compliment.
So,
oh my
this week's
goodness.
gonna be fun. We're gonna have a great time talking about all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Let me actually bring Twitch up on my phone because I may want to pay attention to Twitch chat tonight.
Oh, why? Are you gonna say something?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Well,
People don't like it when I hold back, so I don't know if I'm gonna. Why don't you talk about your week? How was your week, dude?
it was interesting. We have the end of the season, so I was trying to push hard to get to 10. Did not make it to 10, unfortunately. I did end up at 11 overall.
Same.
Sweet. So you had a late push. What did it for me is after last week and after all our discussions about the meta and what was happening in the meta, I went ahead and moved over to a Paladin with the Murloc Paladin because that sounded like so much fun with what we were talking about last week. And so I went and switched to that, and it did pretty good for me. I bounced around 11 and 12. Some pretty cool games came as a result of that. But in the end, I could not push beyond rank 11. So sad. I wanted to get down to 10 so I could get the bigger chest. And yeah, so I've tried it again this season since we just reset. And I ended up not having so much success here. Yeah, I started out rank 19 because of my position for last season. And I'm still at 19, even though I've played quite a few games. I've been getting hammered. But, at the beginning of the season, it is a lot more difficult to get any traction with a lot of players who are getting back down the ladder again. And a lot of players are playing on a different level than I play at. And it's okay. It's okay. I had some good stuff. I did get to play a game with Rez today at lunch. He sent me an invite and said, "Hey, you want to play a match?" It's like, oh, no. I'm playing Rez, playing with his warrior quest deck. He's gonna clobber me from what I understand. Ooh. No. Somebody has their Twitch unmuted.
See, it's just stuff I never do. All right, so how do I? Okay, I apologize, guys. I'm new at this whole thing. All right, so anyway.
I got to play a match with him, and I was playing this Paladin deck again, and I'm like, I'm going to get clobbered. And it was a battle for the ages. It was an awesome game because we were back and forth, and I thought for sure he was going to clobber me. And in the end, I beat him. Couldn't believe it. And, it was. I got the luckiest draws. Unbelievable draws. Lots of random cards that I was very thankful for that actually pushed me over the top. So I don't think that would happen again. It was one of those moments, but it's like, man, if I could have every game end up like this, I'd probably end up at Legend. So, anyways, I had a good time with it. It's been fun. I'm going to be playing with another deck this week. That's completely different, but we'll be talking about that in a minute. The rest of the week have been doing. We did play Heroes of the Storm after the show last week, because if you aren't familiar, last week we talked about it. There's a big thing going on in Heroes of the Storm that if you play 5 matches with friends, and each week there's a reward for doing so in different variations. Like this week, if you play 5 games with friends, PvP, by the way, which means against other players, then you get a special Diva skin for Overwatch.
So was it last week after the show that we did the 5 matches?
See, he's not listening to me. He quits listening whenever he looks other than. Yes, I just said that.
Somebody said somebody told me how to only chat on the Twitch, and I don't have a gear to do it. So yeah, it says tap the gear and put chat only. Unfortunately, I don't see a gear, so I'm just gonna leave it because I turned my volume down all the way.
Okay.
So we're good. I apologize. I don't usually have Twitch chat up, but tonight feeling like I wanna get in tune with you guys. I feel like you're probably all on my level, and if you're not, get on my level. So, which was the same as Destiny as rank 11.
So, anyways, that's what I ended up doing, playing some good matches. I did play with the Brawl a little bit. Did about 3 games, I think, with it. I didn't really focus on it. I was really more working on leveling, trying to get down to rank 10, like I said. So that was really my focus was last week. I'm gonna try and get back down there again this season, this month, and we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna try and push pretty hard here in the beginning and try and get going. So, and lots of WoW. Yeah, still playing the WoW thing.
Awesome.
So, what about you?
Rank 11 also. Played the Tavern Brawl for a little bit. I had some quests to do and went ahead and Tavern Brawl and finished a bunch of quests. Playing the servant tryouts, or Servants of Yogg-Saron tryouts, which is our brawl for this last week, and had some fun doing that. Played a few different decks, and it was interesting, but not, this is the 3rd time we've seen it, so it's a repeat. Not a real. I guess it could be user friendly because the spells or the minions that you cast they do random spells, so you get to see. It's not like you get to play with cards that you don't have, but you get to see cards that you don't have. So something might cast a meteor, all over the board, or a volcano. Sure. Cards that you don't have in your collection, those spells may cast. So you don't get to play them, but you get to see them go off, which is kind of cool. But I managed to average almost a pack and a half a day this past week. I went from, let me see. I think I told Rez earlier. I think I lied to Rez earlier. So I started the end of last week at 3. I don't know, last podcast, I can't remember what I said. It was like 310 maybe. And now I'm at like 380 something. So I won almost 80 rogue matches this past week. And that's just rogue. That's not doing quests. So you figure every 3 wins, you get 10 gold, right?
Yep.
So, I racked up a bunch of gold each day, finishing quests, playing, winning matches. So I think I averaged about a pack and a half every day, or a pack and a third every day. Opened up a bunch of cards, crafted the mage card that's an elemental. No. It was just a rare.
Okay.
And played with that because I had a mage deck that I wanted to try out. I wanted to do like an elemental mage deck just to see what I could do, because I've been playing with a bunch of elementals and just messing around with shaman and mage and rogue. So I did that route. Did a little bit of paladin elemental, and I thought, well, let me craft this guy. So I crafted him and had a lot of fun with him. Played a little bit with that stall mage that I played against you. Mm-hmm. Messed around with that. So all in all, it was a lot of fun. I had a great time this past week. Played a lot of Hearthstone, and like I said, I ended up at rank 11. I would have liked to have gotten to 10, because at 10 it changes to, I think you get 5 packages at the end of the month in your chest. So at the end of the month, you get your chest with your highest rank achieved. You open it up, and you get prizes, like these little packages. One package is always going to be your card back. And then the other whatever are going to be, either a golden card, dust, or gold. and I ended up getting 4 packages at rank 11, and I think at rank 10 you get 5 packages. Now at rank 15 to rank 11, in that package you're guaranteed a golden rare, and then from 10 to 5 you're guaranteed a golden epic, I believe. So it's really beneficial for you to get past 10, because not only do you get 5 packages, I believe, and don't quote me on all this. This is what I'm trying to remember from when one season Rez and I made it to rank 5. But I think you get 5 packages at rank 10 and a golden epic. So that's why I really wanted to get 10, just for that prize at the end. I mean, that's that goal. Those at the end of the month, getting those golden cards, it's like new cards for me, because I dust them immediately and get to make whatever I want. So, but Steam Surger, Steam Surger, the mage card that I crafted was Steam Surger. Thank you very much. 007 let me know. I appreciate it. See, that Twitch chat helped me out. Awesome job.
Yay.
And it is a rare. See me no more. Thank you. So let me think what else happened. Played a little bit of WoW. Obviously, after the show last week, I think you already told everybody that we played some Heroes of the Storm. So,
yep.
Yeah, and then, of course, today I got some really bad news. So.
Well, let's talk about the good news that came out yesterday. Good news is that Blizzard announced that Hearthstone has surpassed 70 million players. That's an insane number. And one of the things that was mentioned in that discussion about the announcement is that there were more active players than have been playing the game in the past overall. So, 8?
I have 8 accounts.
Oh, well, the interesting thing is that a lot of people are saying, you got 70 million players, but how many of those are actually active? How many of those are actually playing the game?
I mean...
But the truth is there is a lot of people that came to the game for this latest expansion. So there is a surge of players, and there's a lot more people playing the game than ever was active. So...
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of people out there like me that have multiple accounts. And I'm not just talking about my Espo pound 1473 or whatever my battle tag is. I'm not just talking about my Asia, my Europe, and my American. That's one account to me. I'm talking about the accounts that I've made either for friends to play and or just for me to use as like, hey, I'm going to try out the new player experience to see if it's changed, and yeah, so I have, and there may be more out there that I forgot about, but I know for a fact that I definitely have 8 that I currently log into every time we get like a free card or something like that. So, I mean, at 70 million players, I think that's a stretch. I would say
I think there still are
maybe
a portion of those that are not actually active.
I'd say 40. But 40 million is a lot, dude. That's a lot of people, Well,
the cool thing is, though, is that as part of the celebration, they're giving everyone 3 Ungoro packs.
I got mine.
All you gotta do is log in and redeem it. That's it. And did you get anything good out of yours?
A golden epic or golden rare? I think it was a golden epic. Yeah, golden epic because it was 400 dust. I don't even remember. Dude, I don't even remember what it was. I just saw a gold card with a purple gem, and I said, there we go. That's 400 dust. Didn't even see what the card was.
Sad.
Just even if it would have had an amber gem in the middle, dust immediately. It's sad,
That's
dude.
sad.
I have a bad addiction. My addiction is dusting golden cards. I mean, it's like I said, I can't even remember what it was. It was a golden epic, immediately dust.
Okay. Well, I ended up getting a golden Steam Surger, speaking of, which I kept.
Gotcha.
And I got Pyros, the Mage Legendary.
Yeah. It starts out as a 2/2. Is that right?
Then goes to a
Starts
6-6.
out wearing a tutu.
That's right. Starts
and
out wearing a
6-6
tutu.
for
And
6.
then a 10-10.
And then a 10-10 for 10. Yep.
That's right.
And those are death rattles, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I ended up with. I was happy with that because I wanted that card and I wasn't sure I wanted to craft it. So, yay me.
Good.
Also, interesting news is that Hearthstone's esports Twitter account posted this interesting message on April 28th. They said the top 64 from Ranked Wild in May can qualify for an upcoming official Wild tournament. More info to come. And we'll see what that means. They didn't say is it region based, what you had to do in general to win it, to be part of it, but just basically saying, hey, play Ranked Wild, see what you can do. Top 64 in or going to qualify for a tournament. We'll see what that means here shortly, but kind of cool to check that out. So if you're interested in doing that, play Wild. And that's the first official Wild related tournament or anything. So, and then Ben Brode also hit Legend this last month. I don't know if that's the first time he ever did or not, but he did announce it. He said he swapped 2 Galaka crawlers for 2 Hungry Crabs a couple hours ago and went from rank 3 to Legend. So congratulations, Ben. Good job.
Sweet.
About time. I wish I could. And then a little bit of news, something about this week's brawl is going to be Heroic Brawl. And then after that, we talked... Oh, wait. You probably want to talk about that, don't you? We'll come back to that in a second. Conversation with Ben Brode this past week. He had a conversation with another source, and they talked a bunch of different things. I got a link, by the way, for all this is in the show notes. If you want to read it, check it out. But some of the points I wanted to mention that he mentioned in there is that they're ramping up a team for adventures, which will be releasing alongside the next expansion, as I mentioned already. Adventures are free for players, and it will reward card backs as you play. So that's going to be fun. It's kind of interesting that they're actually ramping up a separate team for this. I know they're going to be doing this going forward in each of the expansions, so they are going to need to do this more frequently. So, but how will this turn out? I don't know. It'd be a lot of fun to see the end result. And he also said that the community hugely affects the final design of the game. And their top concern for the team is making the game as fun as it can be for as many players as possible, in spite of the other bit of news that we're talking about for this week that we'll get into. And then the last 2 things I thought were really interesting is that the feedback from Agoro has shown that the expansions has been super fun. I agree with that. I've been enjoying this expansion. I like the fact that a large list of decks are viable. That is not 3 or 4 or 5 decks specifically that are ruling the roost. But this is nice to see so much variation and fluctuation. And the other bit of feedback on the expansion is that feedback on pricing shows that they have some discussion to do internal. So that's rather interesting to hear.
That could be a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like that, obviously, that it's not going over well and that it's too expensive in general.
It is. I mean, okay, so let's talk about pricing for a second. Okay. So when I first started playing Hearthstone, obviously it was free to play, still is free to play, but you gotta buy something. I mean, you almost have to if you want cards. I mean, it's tough to build a legitimate collection for free. It is very tough. It's not tough to have fun, but if you're collecting, you got to spend money. So when that first expansion dropped, and I don't know if they did a bundle or not, but I remember having a conversation with either you or Rez or the community, I can't remember who, about pricing and how I would spend, $60 maybe, I don't know, twice a year, once a year on a video game, right? Mm-hmm. Like I would go out, buy a new video game. Oh, Skyrim came out. Okay. Well, when I bought Skyrim, it was $60 for the Xbox what was it, 360, I think. So
Sure.
I went out and got it. I knew it was going to be a good game and purchased it $60. So when Hearthstone does these $50 bundles, I look at it as, oh, well, that's just, a video game that I'm buying to play for a little bit, right? Well, here's the bad thing about it. I now went from maybe 1 or 2 a year of those video game, pocket drops where, I'm emptying my wallet of $50-$60 for a video game once or twice a year, to now I'm doing it, I would say 3 times a year on one video game. Now, granted, this one video game is amazing. I love it. I play it way more than I've played any other video game. I put probably, I don't know, 500 hours.
You have 8 accounts
into Skyrim. Yeah. So I've put 500 hours into Skyrim, but I'd be willing to say that I put, double that into Hearthstone and have a great time doing it. And I can play it on mobile. I can play it on my PC. So spending $150 a year on a video game, it still feels a little bit expensive to me, because I was paying, 50 to 100 a year. Now I'm paying 150, possibly 200, because every once in a while I'm like, you know what, I need this or I need that. 6 packs here, 7 packs there, whatever. So I don't know. I just feel like it is getting kind of expensive. I don't know. What's your take on that, Vestidius?
I'm with you. I get the idea with spending the money over time. I'm the same way. I would spend money on games frequently. Not a whole lot of this, that, and the other, but I would. And so with Hearthstone coming out, it gives a more of a it takes place of that, I guess you would say. Problem is with me though is I still tend to dabble here and there with the other games too as well. It's not this exclusively, so but it's cut down a whole lot because this is still here. The problem with Hearthstone is it does have that engagement of, but if I just get 5 more packs, I might get that card I'm looking for. So, okay, I'll do the $10 level. That's 7 more packs and I'll get, nothing. But I get dust. Get some dust and I can craft what I want, right? So, but then I get a bunch of goldens. Like, I can't dust those. So
that's your problem. There's your problem right there.
And if I dusted, I could probably craft like 5 legendaries, maybe more if I had dusted every golden I had. But no, I'm not.
Yeah.
So I'm totally. I see that aspect of it, but we did have, this year. In the past, we had expansion and adventures, and the adventures were cheaper than the expansions in overall because we would do the pre-order and then end up doing the pre-order. And then add maybe another additional $20 in packs. So $70 maybe on that thing. But that's, about a 3 to 4 month expense for that. So if you break that down 3 to 4 months, you're only paying, $15 a month roughly to play the game, which you do for games like World of Warcraft. You're playing the same amount, right? So,
yep.
But then this year, in the past, it would be the big expansion or 2 big expansions and an adventure. An adventure would be $24, so it'd be cut that expense down, and there weren't any packs to go with that. That was just flat out the adventure. Now this year they announced there's no adventures; it's all going to be expansions. So now we're looking at this year, going, "Whoa, wait a second! You're talking instead of me overall spending $150 in general on entertainment over a full year, you're talking about me spending probably $200 or more because of buying packs additional." And Blizzard's happy because they just increased their income by X amount of dollars, another 25%, which is fantastic on their bottom line. But yeah, it's going to change things. At least with the expansions this year, they're including adventures together, so it kind of gives it more value. But in the end, we're not going to feel that we have more value. I don't think at the end you're going to look at it the same way.
I'm going to take a little bit different view on that whole getting rid of adventures and just doing, because I think that the way they're going to do this, because they've heard me. I know they have, because I've spoken directly to them about this. So, and it's not just me, it's the whole community. They're going to make sure that these adventures are not missed. They're going to add them into, and you kind of saw this with, and I know it wasn't an adventure, but with the mean streets, you felt like there was more of a theme you could follow, almost a storyline during the, release and up to, and I think with the next expansion, we're going to see this, great adventure going parallel with it. And during that, we're going to get a lot of free packs, I believe. Here lately, we got 3 packs. At the beginning of the expansion, how many packs did we end up getting at the beginning for doing those quests? We got a few, right? I mean, more than 3.
It's like, so in the last expansion or this one?
This one. I thought we got a few free packs. But anyway, that's
6. I think
okay.
6.
So I think with this adventure coming out, we're going to have fun because it's going to be the PvE adventure stuff that we like, and we're going to get free packs. Before, when we did an adventure, we got free cards, which was cool. But a lot of those adventures, they gave us 30, 35 cards. Maybe 2 of them were really competitive. Maybe 5 of them were really fun. And then the rest, we never really saw, unless you were forced to build, a deck around them in some crazy match with, your friend Rez. So I think with this adventure going along with expansion, I definitely think we're going to see the value. With this expansion, we're kind of, it's awesome. This expansion's really, really good. So, paying out for that bundle, I'm having a lot of fun, like a ton of fun. So I don't feel bad. But if the next expansion was the same way, where I shelled out $50, didn't get my PvE content, didn't get, the fun that I usually get in between expansions with an adventure, I think I might be disappointed. So I really like the fact, like 007 says in Twitch chat, lore heavy expansions. So we're going to see, some Hearthstone lore, which it's now not Warcraft lore. It's Hearthstone lore. So we've already established that Elise is part of the Hearthstone lore. These guys like, what the heck? Reno Jackson. He's part of the Hearthstone lore now. We don't see these guys in Warcraft. We don't see them in any other Blizzard games. They're here with us in Hearthstone. So, like they said in Twitch chat, it's going to be those expansions that have the Hearthstone lore in them, and you're going to follow along on these journeys through this expansion, through the PvE content, and getting free cards. So I think I definitely don't think we're going to be disappointed. My wife may think differently when I spend another $50, but when she sees my face and she sees how much fun I'm having, like today, she doesn't know how upset I am. But when she sees how upset I am, she's going to be like, why do you play this game? Right? Because she always, when it comes to that, and she hears me get upset on the podcast, she'll be like, okay, can you explain why you're playing this game again? If they, if they're doing stuff that you don't like? I'm like, because I have faith. I have faith. So, and there's enough other things going on. Like before in the vanilla version of this game, Rez and I found our own way to have fun. Like we made our own fun. And of course your daughter dubbed it Fun Guaranteed, right? She made us our own stamp. And because we went ahead and we said, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're only allowed to use these cards. The rules are you're only allowed to do this. And then all of a sudden, the Tavern Brawls come out. And I'm going to make a huge segue right now into, because I am not stopping my roll. So then the Tavern Brawls come out. And, Rez and I are super excited. We got this mode in game where we can be super casual and we still get a pack, right? And sometimes we get to play with cards that we don't even have in our collection. It's amazing. It's a mode where it's like you guys say, Espo mode, where you can have fun, you still get rewards, and you get to play with cards that aren't in your collection. I mean, it's great for new players as long as you have a character up to level 20. Then you can play the Tavern Brawl. So great stuff, right? And then someone decides they're going to take away my fun Tavern Brawl for a week and take it from super, super casual, super fun. And I'm not saying competitive is not fun, because I played in many tournaments and they were a blast. But they're taking a mode that's usually new player friendly, usually a lot of fun, and usually gives people a chance to play with cards that they don't have. 3 things that are super cool, right? They're taking that casual, super cool mode and making it into a super competitive pay to get a prize mode, where and they're replacing it. Now it is only a week. That's I'm not upset that I know they're not replacing it forever. But I mean, why not just make another spot for it instead of taking that away? It's just I can't understand it, and it's a little disheartening. But I know this is supposed to be a trial, I think. I don't know. I just
No, I think it's going to be on trial. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we're beyond trial at this point.
All right. So there we go.
I hear you.
Yeah. So
it would be nice if they would run this side by side with the other, so that you have a choice. You can play an old one. I mean, give us an old brawl, something we've done in the past that maybe it's not one of the fun ones or not, but give us an old brawl for the free-to-play players who are new or whatever, and then also have Heroic Tavern Brawl alongside at the same time.
Yeah.
When you click on that Tavern Brawl button, have 2 buttons come up, say, hey, do you want to play for $10 or do you want to play for free? Give us an option.
There you go.
That's what we're asking for. You do that, and then Espo does not complain. And, well, he complains less. He'll complain less. And then what you need to do is remove the level 20 restriction.
Oh, please. Please.
Give us another option where they can play in the Tavern Brawl with us, some way to get into it without having to have that restriction.
I don't know. I don't know the answer. I mean, I don't. And I guess that's why I'm not working for Blizzard. But, that's my rant, and I'm done. Well,
as I mentioned in the conversation,
we're going to have fun.
He did say that the top concern for the team is making the game as fun as it can be for as many players as possible. What you're advocating is going to make it more fun for more players, not less fun for some players. And they did say the community hugely affects the final design of the game. We're part of the community. So you potentially could affect the final design of the game if they ever listen to you.
I mean, and I'm not saying take Heroic Tavern Brawl out. I'm just saying put it in another place.
Yeah. Oh well. Are you good for now?
I apologize. Yeah, I have to apologize to See Me No More. He's heard my rants, and yeah. Sorry about that. But I'm done. I'm having a lot of fun with Ungoro, so we're good.
So does that mean you're not gonna play a Heroic Tavern Brawl?
You're a funny man.
Really?
Okay. You really, dude? You really think I would?
I just had to ask.
Okay. I'm not doing that. I would lose in a heartbeat. I am not. I mean, I'm competitive and I know how to play the game, but I just
Yeah,
no.
I don't do permanent. I did it last time around. I did it one time just so I said so I could say I did it, but in the end, yeah.
I can't remember if I did it or not.
You didn't. I did.
Okay.
So
All right, I didn't then.
You know, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. How many games of Arena have you played? You had 107, and then I checked mine. I was like 450, and you're like, whoa. Yeah, I like Arena. I'm just not very good at it. In fact, I'm actually gonna play a Arena match this week. I'm planning on doing one.
Well, and again, it's not that I don't like Heroic Tavern Brawl. I think Heroic Tavern Brawl is great. I think it's awesome that competitive players don't have to go somewhere else to be in a tournament. They can be in a tournament in the client. That's awesome. I would like for them to have it all the time. In fact, I think Blizzard would benefit, well, a lot with the cash flow if they would put it in the game and have it on the side. I just wish they wouldn't take it away from a spot that us casual and fun players get every week. So,
yep. Okay, well, let's move on to a more healthy topic. The current meta. I wanted to talk about it again, if it's okay with you. We talked about it a lot last week.
That's fine.
And this week it got fun again because
again,
yeah, because we talked about last week how the current meta was seeing certain decks showing, rising to the top. And this goes back to what I said at the beginning is what I'm enjoying about the current expansion is the fluctuations, is the not having specific decks that are ruling the meta and are just overwhelming every other deck out there. And this week, Vicious Syndicate came out with their next meta report. It was actually the 27th when it came out. And the most recent one, I'm not surprised by what happened or what changed, but at the same time, there was a piece I was surprised about. This week, the Paladin decks have risen up more than they were before, because suddenly people were realizing that Paladin decks were being effective against what was happening in the meta today, current meta. And so next thing you know, we saw a lot more increase in the Murloc Paladin, the mid-range Paladin, and also Control Paladin decks. All three of them were much more successful this last week. And another deck that actually has suddenly jumped to the highlight again is a mage deck. One of the players out there, Cy Gunther, came up with a new concept. They're calling it the Discover Burn Mage. And what's making this deck work so well is that it's much less vulnerable to the decks that have access to healing. And it utilizes Medivh as a value engine in order to beat these control decks. And then another player, B787, added in Elise to that deck, which adds another win condition to the deck. So both of these decks kind of boosted the mage up as well. These are kind of a variation. What was kind of strong was the freeze mage at first, and this is kind of taking that a different direction. So it's nice to see that change. In fact, that's the deck I'm going to be playing this week. The one I just started playing, it's B787's Elise Burn Mage, and it's got some pretty cool concepts in it. I played a game right before the show and had just won the game. I mean, it was awesome because I ended up with Pyroblast to the face. It was fun to close out that way. But having Medivh on the board, which gives you Atesh. How do you say that?
Atesh the Guardian. Great Staff of the Guardian.
Having that card and then getting that staff in your hand is so fun to have, because every time you cast a spell, it summons a random minion with that cost of the spell. And if you keep them on the board, you can chain out a whole bunch of stuff. So it's pretty cool to play this deck. And then the other deck, like I mentioned before, that kind of started this whole thing off is Cy Gunther's Discover Burn Mage, which is a variation on that. It's pretty much the same deck, except it doesn't have Elise in it. And Elise is a fun card. I just want to play more decks with Elise in it. So that's kind of why I'm going towards the B787 deck. Because what happens with her is when you play her, she puts an unopened Ungoro pack in your deck that you then will be able to open and add additional cards to your deck. And I love that whole mechanic, and I haven't been able to play with that enough since the expansion came out. So I'm going to play with that this week, see what it does for me, and it gets me going. The Pirate Warrior is always is still running the top of the list. We talked a lot about it last week, but it did actually come down a little bit. Its win rate is down some. The other deck that's really big for Warrior is the Taunt Warrior. That one, interesting enough, dropped significantly. It dropped 30% because of the Paladin decks coming into play. And the Paladin deck is really strong against that deck. In fact, I played against Rez earlier.
So can I just say one thing about the Paladin deck?
Yeah.
So I watched Rez and I played a lot this past week, and we would watch each other play. And he played Taunt Warrior, and I played Quest Rogue, and we would help each other out a little bit. So I'm watching Rez play against all these Paladins, and one thing I'm noticing every time they would play, I believe it's called the Stonehill Defender.
Mm-hmm.
They would get a Tyrion. Well, most of them already had Tyrion in their deck.
Yep.
So
absolutely, how
do you win versus two Tyrions? You got to play all these crazy tech cards just to do that, right? And it's just feels bad, man. I watched Rez just get crushed, and I was like, dude, what the what? So
and I've got actually to the point where I'm not even picking Tyrion because it also gives other good options as well. I mean, I've actually seen some pretty cool cards come up. But Tyrion is definitely one of those options that you want to pick frequently. But almost every time you get that card,
Stonehill Defender.
Every time you play that card, you get a legendary option to pick from. I mean, it's
Stonehill Defender.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
totally there. The other deck that did go down a little bit across the board with all the different types of decks is the Rogue decks. We have all those Rogue decks we talked about last week. The Crystal Rogue, the Miracle Rogue. Those have been fallen quite a bit because everybody seems to be attacking them, has been kind of focusing on them to counter them in the quest. And that's been one deck that's been in there for a long time since the beginning of the expansion came out. So it's a big shift has happened in just a week. That's what's so cool. Another class dropping quite a bit is the Hunter, which is one I've been playing up to this point. The good thing is it's in a better place than it was last expansion and the one expansion before that. However, it's not being played as much in the legend levels. So what that typically means, though, is that there's not much. It doesn't have much legs when it starts getting into the lower levels, into under rank 10, rank 5. So it's a lot harder to work in those areas. So it's not going to be that powerful, at least what currently is out there. We are seeing a rise of the Druids again. The token deck Druid is really coming back again, and it's being played a lot in the legendaries. It has really good matchups against other aggressive decks, so it makes it really useful in some of those areas, especially to kind of counter what's happening. One deck I'm sad to say, or one class, is Priest, is not doing so well right now. It seems to be bouncing around. They're having a hard time getting traction with those decks. There are lots of different ones being experimented with. Just nothing seems to have happened yet that is making it useful for the Priest. So, what are you thinking about this so far? I mean, you've been playing around with some of these, right? And you just screwed up I
was just big time. I don't know what I did.
What did you
clicked
do?
In the show notes to. I was like, I want to talk about Priest for a second, so I clicked in that section, and I think I added purchase queue. I don't know what.
What in the world?
Hold on,
what is he trying to say? What's he trying to say?
There we go. Yeah, I don't know how. Apparently, I copied and pasted with just one click of the mouse button. So I played around with Pirate Warrior. I had a Warrior Quest, and I think I talked about it last week where I went, I was like 13-2 or 13. I mean, I went crazy with it. So Pirate Warrior, very strong, extremely strong. And watching Rez just these past couple days, not this week, but just these past couple days, I've seen the Taunt Warrior go downhill. Because Rez definitely knows how to play the game, and he knows how to play that deck. That's, like you saw earlier, that's strictly what he plays.
Yes.
And I saw that drop. And with watching him play, I saw the rise of Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seemed like the decks that were beating him were these crazy Paladin decks that were either running Murlocs in a mid-range fashion, or they were running the guy that turns everybody into a 3/3, and I guess that kind of techs against the Quest Rogue, and they run Stonehill Defender. Like it was crazy. And then, of course, I was playing Priest and having a lot of fun. Like I crafted those Shadow Visions and was playing around with that, pulling spells, discovering spells that were in my deck. So I, had this incredible draw machine. With Shadow Visions, you can pretty much build your deck exactly into the combo that you want. And once you get that Shadow Vision, you can. You only put a few spells in your deck and you're guaranteed to draw those with Shadow Visions. Or if you don't draw Shadow Visions, you probably end up drawing the spells anyway, so you don't need Shadow Visions. So played around with the Priest a lot, and I saw mixed things with it. Early on in the expansion, I was kicking butt with it. I mean, I was just slaying people. But now it's like it's a little bit tougher to play. Of course, Hunter. I always play Hunter. I've been playing Hunter since beta. So I've been messing around with that, and it's iffy. I mean, I feel like it was pretty strong at the beginning, like this says. So I'm agreeing with all this. I mean, I'm definitely seeing all this, and it doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all because I've seen it.
Yeah.
So. And even if I hadn't seen it, I think I would have guessed anyway. I mean, these are the mage thing seems kind of weird. But then again, I don't play mage much. Like I said last week, that mage deck that I was playing, the freeze mage, that's the first time I've ever played a freeze mage. So I mean, I don't play a lot of mage at all, and I never really see a lot of mage. Every once in a while I'll see it, and it'll be some crazy combo where they're dealing all this damage to me in one turn with 500 fireballs from, Uncle Tony.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Well, overall, the meta seems to be interesting, I guess you would say. Cool things that came from this the Vicious Syndicate report is that there's no class that has over a 20% representation in the winning decks. And even more so, there's no archetype that even passes 10% representation. Archetype being individual types of decks like Freeze Mage, Pyro Warrior, or Taunt Warrior, those types of things we're talking about. Not necessarily deck names specifically, but deck types that are similar in style. And almost every class has multiple types or archetypes of a wide range of playstyles, which is unusual. Like we said early on, in previous expansions, you'd have some of these types that were dominating the boards and dominating the meta. So archetype, excuse me, I've been corrected. Rez, thanks. Archetype, that's it. Yeah, archetype. Yes. I'm like, what is the word? It's just not working right. I'm killing Rez.
You need the new
archetype.
Grammarly.
Yeah. So, anyways, that archetype is what's nice to see, is this variety, and I love seeing those aspects of this. So it helps me because as a player who doesn't necessarily have the skill set to play some of these decks as well as some of the legend players, it gives me the ability to switch around a bunch of different decks to find one that works well for me, and gives me the ability to experiment and have decks that are successful that I'm actually succeeding with, versus me not being very good at warrior, druid, or rogue. I'm better at mage and say paladin or whatever it is. It gives me the chance to have the ability to succeed in other areas. Now, one deck I do want to mention, or one class that we really haven't mentioned in this list. Which one is that?
Warlock.
Mm-hmm. Warlock's not doing well in this expansion.
Yeah.
It has not found its rhythm yet. So we shall see. Shaman isn't mentioned here. It's a medium range deck right now. There's a bunch of different variety. It's not settled down. There's so much going on with Shaman right now. I think it's going to take a little while before it gets figured out. So, but Warlock is having some issues. They're more in a situation that Hunter was in a couple expansions back. Where they don't have all the tools they need to be successful. There's a lot of zoo decks out there that are not quite working properly. Yeah, it's just a lot of experiments going on, but maybe somebody will figure something out, kind of like this deck with the mages. With the Discover Burn Mage, maybe we'll see some interesting concept come forward that somebody hasn't figured out yet. But we shall see. I think it's going to be fun to watch over the next couple of weeks to see if anything else changes. But until then, I'm playing Discover Burn Mage.
Till then, I'm playing. It's going to be Priest and Rogue. I mean, I'm working on getting those 500 wins. I'm almost to 400 right now with my Rogue, and it'll be pretty sweet to get 500. Also, the patch hasn't dropped yet, where we'll see more than 500 wins on each of our classes, which that'll be really cool. I'm really excited to see where I am with my Hunter and my Warlock and my Paladin.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we seen any iTunes reviews or emails yet?
No.
That's too bad.
Unfortunately. Yeah, I look forward to it. We'd love to hear what your input is on what's happening in the meta. What is your thoughts on us talking about this? Are you getting anything from this? We'd love to know. Is this useful and helpful? Because that's the whole point of we do this, is trying to help the new players who have not been playing the game very long or are new to the game or aren't experienced with the game and don't have all the cards to do better. That's our goal, is to help you get better and then for you to come back and tell us how to play the game.
Well, I've had some input from viewers this past week, either messaging me on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, and I think once I'm quitting my part-time job, tomorrow night's my last night, so we can concentrate on building the house a little bit more. So I might have a little bit more free time. Okay. So I think I'm gonna add some things to the show notes each week, where I kind of dive into the new player experience and talk a little bit of maybe either about playing, building, and or crafting cards and decks and things of that type. Because I think the new player, I can still remember being a new player, and even though I played the WoW TCG and Magic the Gathering and built my own decks, it's a daunting task. So I think I might try to go revisit that and talk a little bit about it. So, but if you guys want to get a hold of us and let us know, we got information in the show notes on how to do that.
Also, I had one of our listeners / one of our co-hosts for one of the other podcasts, which is Legendary Loot Box, Radmobile. He said, sent me a message today, and he says, "Man, I'm going back to the previous adventures, trying to defeat some of those tasks, for example, the class challenges." He says they're so hard with the new decks and the new cards, and losing those cards that went in the wild. He says it's a new challenge, and some of them are easier because the cards is way more powerful than what was created for that specific encounter. But he said some of those things it's a challenge, and it's a lot more difficult. So kind of interesting input from one of ours. So yeah, we've had some feedback.
I want to give a Twitter shout out to Dave. When I think it was Ben Brode or @PlayHearthstone, someone on Twitter tweeted about the Heroic Tavern Brawl tomorrow. Dave replies, "You guys are going to have a disgruntled XCMTB gamer on your hands," which is XCMTB gamer, for those of you who don't know. That's my Twitter handle. I know why I chose that Twitter handle, because, cross-country mountain biking and gamer. But I give him a shout out because I was a little bit disgruntled, but you all understand. I mean, that's something I really am passionate about.
It comes from a good spot. I mean,
yeah, I'd like to think so.
For a good reason. So,
yeah. So.
Well, yeah. So if you want to give us some feedback, do so at LOTI Podcast on Twitter or at XCMTV Gamer on Twitter for Espo. And you can support us on patreon.com/Legend of the Innkeeper. That helps us keep the lights on and keep things moving, and also helps us be able to put some funds into some other options and future processes. So it helps us quite a bit. We appreciate your support. Also, you can find the show notes and everything on legendoftheinnkeeper.com at the website. And you can email us at info@legendoftheinnkeeper. So until next week, we'll see what happens and go mages.
Okay, and good job, team.
Okay.
Dude, there was a time in the middle there where Zencaster said disconnected, trying to reconnect.
Oh, goody.
But I think you were in the middle of the news.
That's
Or you
okay,
were-
though,
no,
because
you were in the
it's
middle of
recording
something.
local,
Okay.
and that's the point of it. So it's
Yeah.
going to upload your copy.
Oh, so mine is just a copy on my end.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, we're okay.
So during the show, I get a text message from not my boss, my boss's boss. One of
You're
our
moving back
site-
to North Carolina.
No, one of our
Oh.
sites was down. And everybody get on an emergency call and blah. And it's one of the sites that I help manage. And he's like, get on the call. It's down. I'm like, I'm busy right now. I'm recording a live show. Sorry.
You're like, I'm
Oh.
already on a call with
Yeah.
like 15 other people.
and so then basically in the end, by the time we got to the end of the show, it was already fixed.
Nice.
So
And Rez, it's because hyena. Because hyena. Or because hunter, whatever you want to choose. So since you're playing warrior, it's probably because hunter. So I say we go ahead and get our 5 games in Heroes of the Storm. What do you guys say?
I believe that's a good choice. I know we have quite a few people. You don't know this, but we have quite a few people excited and actually wanting to participate with us.
I'm sorry, fist fight with us?
No, participate.
Oh, I heard that as fist fight.
Yeah, they want to fist fight us. Yeah.
I mean, it's Heroes of the Storm. So
Yeah, I know that Kraska and his son want to join us. Rez is going to join us. His roommate might join us. He said he had a group of people who might want to join.
well, I
know
my
Squishy.
brother-in-law again wants to join us.
See, I mean, so basically, I think what we're going to end up doing is maybe we should all get together at first, all in the same room, and then divvy out groups of 5, and then
Okay.
us go our separate ways and play our 5 matches together as groups. But then, depending on how many show up, it might mean that we need to take like you, me, and Rez and Squishy and put them in separate groups to divvy them
Okay.
up to if there's listeners that want to join us type thing.
Yeah, we can do that.
Depending, we'll see.
I can remember when I only had one friend. Now I have too many. We can't all play together.
Exactly. I mean, it's like that's kind of cool. We can't play together now, unfortunately. But okay, so those of you in chat, I will put in here again battle tag. My battle tag's there. I suppose is there. If you want to join us, you're welcome to add us,
All right.
and we're gonna jump in there.
I think
You can come on in.
Jeremy and Ann already got their games in, so they don't necessarily have to join us. So,
Yeah, but they can.
see me anymore. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Sorry, he's salty.
No, I mean,
He'll get over it.
I don't think he was upset that I was salty. It's just, yeah. Anyway.
And so add our battle tags. We'll get you added. And
Well, okay, hold on. So I got a 007 sent me a friend request, and this is, I guess, new with the launcher or with the app. It actually said I couldn't accept his friend request because I'm at the maximum amount of friends. So I want him to know that I actually deleted a friend to add him.
Nice.
So there you go, dude. That's for you.
I got an invite from somebody. I don't even know who they are. Are they on your list? I'll ask once I get my list up here. I got an invite by I think I recognize it.
Something's going on.
Bleeker 1622.
My brother. Yeah. Bleeker's he's a fan from long ago.
I thought so. I recognize that.
Kevin says sure. GG. Oops. LOL. I'm out. I don't know what's going on right now. So what does that mean? So he says sure, but then he says good game. Then he says oops, LOL. Then he says I'm out. What is he? Are these mistypes or?
Who knows? Okay, so let me go round up the crew here. We'll jump in there and we'll if you want to create a channel and start inviting people in the channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna start inviting people. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to stay in Twitch chat on my phone. So if you are in Twitch chat and you want me to invite you, just say so. And I will invite you to our Heroes of the Storm chat group. But I'm doing it in Battle.net chat. So that's how I'm doing it. Whoops. Oh, okay. Hold on. I got to make sure my phone. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
Well,
I'm getting off.